Microphone test. Test 1 2 1 2 3 4. Microphone test. Testing 1 2 3 4 on the microphone. Testing 1 2 1 2. I'm testing for the camera guys. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Okay, I got one thumbs up. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 3 4. Good. Okay. Hutch, you good? Testing 1 2. Okay, I think everyone's good.
Yep. Testing 1 2 3 4. Y'all good? Yep. All right. I'm no hurry.
Originally from Mobile, Alabama. From the Gulf Coast.
Am I good?
You know, people love Norwood. It's packed all the time. I've never had a bad deal there.
So it's not like great, but then you get to be in the trees. It's kind of the experience. So what would you recommend?
Third wave is real good. So
Clancy's.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, long time no see. Yeah, really.
Anytime you got an Irish family running the Mexican restaurant, you know you got something going.
Daryl's still in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have to move to the right.
I'm gonna tell them. No, the mermaid. You're not gonna be able to sit here.
Okay.
Oh, really? You won't be able to sit. They always want that.
Yeah, let them know.
That'll do it every time.
Right at.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah, I kinda like for now.
It's definitely on the wall.
Ash brown.
Right in the front.
Let's get down. No? Oh, see, I grew up 2 hours from New Orleans. I spent a lot of time. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then let Gary handles that from that. Leave it on, so all you got that. He's got, just need it for 1 second, he's got a balance.
Yep.
Check. Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Captain, Community Information Director for Volusia County Government. Today is November 7th, and we regret to advise that we're still in hurricane season. As of this morning, the disturbance north of the Bahamas has been named Subtropical Storm Nicole. This storm is predicted to become a very large subtropical storm over the next several days, with the potential of being upgraded to either a tropical storm or possibly even a hurricane. The direct path and intensity of the storm is not entirely certain. However, what we do know is that all of Volusia County will experience some effects, especially those who live on the coast. Now is the time to start making preparations. Ensure that you have enough food and water. Remove debris around your home. Clean your gutters and secure any loose items such as yard and patio furniture. Restock all your flashlight batteries, especially if you used them during Hurricane Ian. You might need some fresh ones. Sand and sandbag distributions have already begun. If you are in need of sandbags, visit our Public Information Network site at volusia.org/pin. That's volusia.org/pin. Additionally, you can call our emergency management team for sandbag information from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 386-254-1500. As you know, our coastline was severely damaged by Hurricane Ian, leaving some areas extremely vulnerable to further damage. Volusia County and our coastal municipalities have coordinated to deliver notices to property owners and management companies along the Volusia County coast to notify of the threat of this storm and what it poses. If you live on the coast, we strongly recommend that you make your final preparations today, then move to a safer location when possible, or as soon as possible. Currently, we're anticipating rainfall anywhere from 4 to 8 inches through Friday, and Jim Judge will give you further information on this. This could lead to flooding over roadways, rendering them impassable. As we stressed with Hurricane Ian, please use extreme caution if you have to travel and come across water on the roadway. So for our residents who live in the Stone Island area, Enterprise, Lake Harney Woods, or other areas that are significantly impacted by widespread flooding, please go out and get the needed supplies that you need today. This storm is likely to rise the water levels in these areas again, and possibly severely limiting the access to and from your communities. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Emergency Management Director Jim Judge. Jim?
Thank you very much, Kevin. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Well, conditions for Volusia County. Currently, we are under a tropical storm watch. South of us, from Brevard County all the way down to Martin County, they're under a hurricane watch. And we could very well see a Category 1 hurricane come ashore somewhere along the Treasure Coast area. We are also under a storm surge watch. So with that, we already have some dangerous coastal marine conditions. And if you've been over to the beach, the wave action is still, somewhat significant and only going to get worse. The onshore winds will begin to increase tomorrow. We could see 20 to 25 mile an hour winds. Inland, we could see 25 to 30 along the coast, but we could get gusts up to 35 to 45 miles an hour. Storm surge on top of a full moon, on top of high tides. Storm surge amount of 2 to 4 feet, and it could be 5 feet in certain locations. Wave action as we get into the day Tuesday evening, Wednesday could be up to 6 to 8 feet, growing to as high as 8 to 10 feet on Thursday. And again, getting with these astronomical conditions with higher than normal tides. Halifax River. The Halifax River all along the intercoastal waterway could increase as much as 2 to 3 feet. So for those folks that live along the intercoastal, please take that into consideration. And there is a difference between the high tides on the beach and the tides along the Halifax River. There's about a 6-hour difference with that. Rainfall. We're looking at about 4 to 6 inches along the county, and it could be up to 6 to 8 inches all the way from the coast all the way out to the St. Johns River. Currently, Volusia County Emergency Management is at a level 2 activation. We will go to a level 1 activation on Wednesday morning. Working with the school district, we have placed 2 shelters on standby. We have 1 special needs shelter and 1 general population shelter. Both will be pet friendly, and there'll be more on that tomorrow. If an evacuation is ordered, it would be voluntary for those folks who would like to seek a safer location than one they're currently at. And we will experience 2 high tides each day. For instance, Wednesday morning will be at 8:41, and what they tell us is the morning high tides are higher than the ones in the evening, with that Wednesday night high tide at 8:59 p.m., then again Thursday at 9:23 a.m., and then Thursday evening at 9:42 p.m. The good news, if there is any out of this whole thing, is that once the system does make landfall along the Treasure Coast, it is forecast to move out into the Gulf and then hopefully stay out that way and go up into the Big Bend. But we do anticipate it is going to move fairly quickly. So it's not like an Ian where it was very slow and we suffered with all that rainfall. So again, well, that's good news that it will be moving fairly quickly through the area. We already have been working with our cities, and we did a brief out with our cities just a little while ago, and we will continue going forward. We're also in communications with the Florida Division of Emergency Management, the National Hurricane Center, and then of course with the National Weather Service out of Melbourne, and then also Region 5, which is Volusia County all the way to Martin, and then Lake County, Osceola, Orange, and again our Seminole, our inland counties, just to stay in sync with what everyone is doing and what everyone is doing for the protective actions. So, you know, for conditions along the beach, you know we've had some significant damages along that, and quite concerned about you know what this weather, what the storm surge, and what these waves will do to those already damaged and those potentially in harm's way. So with that, let me bring up Jessica Fentress with our Coastal Division.
Thank you, Jim. To our residents on the coast, this is likely your last day to make any repairs to your seawalls or other preparations before the storm hits. Starting tonight and into early morning, the tide will start to get too high. Our Coastal Division staff has already been making preparations for the upcoming storm event. Our trash bins and portalets have already been removed. Additionally, all showers and restrooms will be locked and turned off approaching the storm's approach. Staff will be posting additional warning signage today and tomorrow. As a reminder, many of our structures are still not safe due to the damage sustained from Hurricane Ian. The impacts of the storm will likely deteriorate those structures even more and may damage them that are previously unharmed. Once the storm passes, we recommend not only going on to any structures until we've had ample time to assess the damage, but give us enough time to clear the area for you. And with this, I'm going to give you to Chief Andy Etheridge with Beach Safety.
Good afternoon, Chief Andy Etheridge with Beach Safety with a few points about the beach. Currently, we're still open for beach driving and access throughout this day. That'll give current residents time to get down and try and do some last-minute preparations for their properties. By the end of business day today, we will close to driving, and we will remain closed throughout the duration of the storm. Currently, my staff is preparing the beach by removing our assets and our lifeguard towers off of the beach. So that means with these incoming waves and these currents, it's going to be very dangerous to be down there. We'll have a difficult time getting to anybody who's caught in rip currents or anything like that. So please take this time to hunker down in the middle of this storm, wait it out, don't go down to the beach throughout this storm. So for a couple of days until this storm passes, stay off the beach, stay out of the water, and give us a chance to get back down there after it passes. We'll reevaluate the beach as soon as we can. We'll get things put back into place, and we'll be able to move forward. Again, stay out of the water. Please stay off the beach until this storm passes. With that, I'll give it back to Kevin, Captain.
Thank you, Chief Etheridge. Just a couple of announcements, some closing announcements before we totally close out. All Volusia County public schools are closed tomorrow for Election Day and Friday for Veterans Day. At this time, school will be in session Wednesday and Thursday, November 9th and 10th. However, that is subject to change as we learn more about the storm's trajectory and potential impacts. For updates regarding school closures, you can visit the Volusia County School District's website at vcsedu.org. You can also visit volusia.org/pin. Election Day is tomorrow. As the significant impacts of the storm are not likely to arrive until Wednesday or later, all Volusia County voting locations are planned to be open as originally planned. To learn more about election information in Volusia County, visit the Volusia County Supervisor of Elections Office website at volusiaelections.gov. The Volusia County Fair is also making an adjustment due to the storm. The Prospect Steer Show will be moved to tonight at 8 p.m. The removal of all Prospect steers will be immediately done after the show or the following day from 8 a.m. to noon. You can visit the VolusiaCountyFair.com to stay informed regarding the fair's most current updates. It is possible the fair may close later this week. We encourage residents also to utilize what we call the Know Your Zone feature on the Volusia County Emergency Management website, as well as the Volusia County Emergency Management mobile app. This feature will assist residents to identify if you are in an evacuation zone or if you live in a low-lying, flood-prone area. It also provides evacuation routes and other useful tips to prepare for such an event. This is also the time to take pictures and document the condition of your property and home prior to the storm. In the unfortunate event your property or home is damaged from the storm, this will help substantiate your claim to your insurance company or to other assistance programming. Again, this is the time to start making plans. Don't let your guard down. Even if the storm does not transform into a hurricane or directly hit Volusia County, we're still likely to receive substantial rain and tropical force winds, so there is a potential for significant damage. To receive the most up-to-date information, please visit volusia.org/pin, download the Volusia County Emergency Management app, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or call 386-254-1500. Also, there's been a lot of questions about debris. There's continuing debris that's out on the streets. The city and county contractors are doing the very best they can to pick up as much debris as they can before the storm hits. With that, I'll take any questions, and we can appropriate the questions to the respective person.
Hi,
Sheldon.
I'm Sheldon Gardner. I'm a reporter at the Daytona Beach News Journal. I was wondering if you could give us a sense of how much of an impact the storm could have on erosion on the coast, and if there are any structures, on the verge of collapse that could collapse in this.
Jessica?
So I'm going to be very honest with everybody out there. We are at a critical point right now with the state of our beaches. Hurricane Ian was a very long duration storm event. In no way did we think we were coming back to significant, widespread, substantial seawall failures across our coastline when we came back from that storm. It's only been a little over a month. The local building officials, so in unincorporated Volusia, it would be the Volusia County, but the municipalities each have building officials in their jurisdictions. They are monitoring the structural integrity of the buildings. With regards to erosion in our ocean, our buffer's gone. So they're calling for a fairly significant swell event on top of a lunar high tide, on top of a wind situation where there's a large fetch out there. The potential for impacts is very significant with regards to erosion. If you are an oceanfront property owner, I would take this very seriously. And if you are uncomfortable or nervous with the structural integrity of your house, I would urge you find shelter elsewhere.
Is there anything that people can do? I mean, I know they only have today, but is there anything people are doing today to try to help prevent that, to shore up the structures, or anything they could do?
There are contractors out there right now working on private property to put some temporary repairs in place. It does have to be permitted by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection if you want to do shore protection, temporary or permanent. They are working closely with the private property owners. And, you can do sandbags. If you can find some sandbags and place them in as a tow protection measure, that would be beneficial if you own oceanfront property.
Just one more question about debris. The county had put out an advisory saying people should try to get their debris from Ian out by the 9th. So are you advising people now to just wait on that until this gets passed?
You know, as far as debris, we still have that continued message. People can still put it out on the road, and as I said, the contractors are working diligently to try to get it done as soon as possible. While we can't make any guarantees, what we can tell you is that they're doing the very best they can. Claire?
Jessica, can I ask you real quick, can you quantify how many structures at this point could be in jeopardy? We know, I know of at least 2 large condos that are out, and I think there's probably a few homes, but do you have a quantification of how many additional homes were sort of on the edge, but that this could create real disaster for those homeowners?
I don't have that number because it's spread across
Couple
multiple-
dozen? Is that fair to
I
say?
think in the county, we have a dozen. So if you add into play your coastal municipalities, you probably have about 2 dozen. Now, that number may change in 3 days because this is a compounding structure or a compounding storm event where the damages you already start off with, you may have more damages tonight. You may have even more damages tomorrow, and you may have even more damages the following day. So it's going to be compounding impacts. If you survive tonight's high tide, you're not safe for tomorrow. If you survive Thursday morning's high tide, you're not safe for Friday. So it's going to be a rolling scale on that number.
So beyond those that were evacuated completely, closed up due to Ian, at least several dozen in our county that are in jeopardy at this point.
I know there's about 2 dozen that are being watched by the local municipalities and the local building officials.
Thanks.
Question for Jim. Rebecca with News 13. What's your message to any local residents who may not have started any storm preps yet?
Well, you know, I look at this almost like a large forest fire. Somebody knocks on your door, tells you you've got 10 minutes to get out. So now you've got some time. You know, we've got today, we've got into tomorrow. But once we get into Wednesday, especially Wednesday evening, then certainly conditions are going to deteriorate rapidly. But then also, Claire, I wanted to mention too that we've had fire, EMS, law enforcement, our building officials, and we've actually even want to assure the governor that we're taking every precaution to make sure that we get people out of harm's way in those structures. So Tim Morgan, even just talking with Tim a little bit ago, the sheriff's office is going to be working Wilbur by the Sea, knocking on doors, just making sure that the cities are doing everything they can do with those damaged structures or ones that potentially could be problematic to make sure that those residents understand, you know, the dangers that are coming our way this week. Did I answer that for you? Okay.
Thanks, Jim.
You bet.
For Jessica? I'm Ian Cassette with Fox 35. With Ian, obviously, that was the storm surge that we got from that and the duration event. I've been told that even after post-Ian, that the high tides were relatively high against the walls in Daytona. What are we looking at long-term with this? Are there long-term implications with another event on top of this with kind of a compromised state that some of the beaches are in?
So what you're experiencing right now with your high tides is that the beach has been deflated. Since Hurricane Ian was such a long duration storm event, what it ended up doing is deflating your beach profile. So you have more seawalls exposed down to the water elevation. You have a flatter beach. That big, beautiful, soft sand berm that everybody got stuck in this summer is now gone. If you could lose additional sand in this storm, and then, you know, Volusia County is notorious for February, March nor'easter events. I would recommend any oceanfront property owners that have not taken the time to do temporary or permanent measures to start that process as soon as possible, because we still have another 5 months to go through where we could have, you know, conditions that might not be a named hurricane, but it could still provide damages to private property.
Hang on, Jessica.
Also, does FDEP still have people here, like if property owners want to go visit and talk about what they can do, you know, after this passes through, or is there still a representative around they can go talk to?
So I want to urge all oceanfront property owners to go to volusia.org/beach cleanup. Beach cleanup is all one word, no hyphens, lowercase, just all one word. You'll find all the quick information you need there, along with phone numbers to Volusia County employees that can assist you with what you can and can't do on the beach. The FDEP is not in town this week, but they are planning on being here next week. because we anticipate some pretty severe impacts this week, so.
Thank you.
We can arrange for a phone call with DEP if someone is in need of emergency repairs and they have not initiated that process yet.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, we will continue to keep you informed. Just continue to watch volusia.org/PIN. Again, the emergency management app, emergency management Facebook page, and Twitter. With that, we'll close today's conference. Please stay safe, stay alert, take care, and help your neighbors.